Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Trackside. I'm Bill Bird along with Dan Wolf in the studio today. We're going to take a look at the third Coors Tour race of the season back in the spring. The first run at Beech. It's the Pine Tree 100. So stay with us. We'll be right back after this message. Welcome back to Trackside. Well, as we said, we're going up to that first race run at Beech in Scarborough, Maine. And Dan Wolf, you were up there. It was your first race of the season. A beautiful day up there for the Pine Tree 100.
It was bright and sunny. The track was a little cold. There was no rubber on the track, so it was difficult to double up. But a beautiful afternoon for racing, and that was my first day to work with Trackside.
Okay, Dan, we're going to go to Dan and Mark Thomas for heat action.
Coming down out of 4, looking for the green, and they get it. First time down the backstretch, Bob Harrison in the lead. Barney McRae finds a hole down the inside, takes over second position. Milt Wright looks low for the third spot. 1 lap complete. Trouble in the one turn. Fred Wiles Jr. has spun onto the apron. Let's see if the yellow comes out as they come around. Wiles is fired. There is no yellow. Wiles is back underway. Bob Harrison, the Miller, number 37, leading this Coors Tour heat race. Barney McRae, Colchester, Vermont, runs in second. Milt Wright running third. Then it's Howie Lane, an open competition entry. Beech Ridge cars looking strong in the first qualifying heat. We have Beech Ridge cars in the first, 5th, 6th, and 7th positions. Halfway home in this 10-lap event. I'm surprised that they've gone single file this early. That's usually handling track, and running on the outside is what really separates the men from the boys here. The outside groove is usually the way to victory lane here. So far today, it looks like they're content just to ride around and try to make it into the feature. Bob Harrison has run here at Beech Ridge for his entire career, and Bob is a man that can run on the outside here at the Ridge. And we have a car in the infield. That's young Brian McClure. He is back underway and about to be overlapped by Bob Harrison in the one turn. 2 laps to go. Bob Harrison, opening up quite an advantage, is coming down to pick up the white flag this time. 1 more lap to go. Barney McRae running in second. Milt Wright, one-time streak commissioner of Hardwick, Vermont, running third. Final time, Bobby Harrison takes the checkered flag and wins the first qualifying feat at the Norseman Pine Tree 100. 3 or 4 time Coors Tour champion. Green is out. On the break, Randall holds a slight edge as they go into turn 1.
And we have trouble in the one turn. Cars 3, 77, and 99 are into it. I believe we are under the yellow flag right now, as the 3 car of Sonny Dorenzo is stranded at the bottom of the 2 turn.
Jean-Paul Cabana of Canada, and they're under green. Turn 1 coming out of 2.
Turn 1.
Oh, trouble
Beech
again.
Ridge runner Bob Libby
Trouble
taps Beaver Dragon. It spins Beaver around. Everyone is back underway. However, Dragon has lost about a half a lap to the leaders.
Green still out. 1 lap complete. Bob Randall, Robbie Crouch running third. Jean-Paul Cabana, and he takes second from Crouch on the inside.
And there is
Cabana definitely on the move in the 5A.
There is no room on the outside here at Beech Ridge today. And Randall goes high in the 2 turn. Cabana is underneath him. And Randall fights him off to retain the lead.
Cabana will not give up.
Once again, Randall pulls high and wide out of the 3 and 4 turn and holds off Jean-Paul Cabana.
Cabana, like a rail, holding that inside line. Looks for room under Bob Randall going into turn 3. Finds none. Robbie Crouch looks on the outside of Cabana for second spot. Tight running at the front of the pack. Randall. Cabana, Crouch, side by side. Trouble. Beaver Dragon off in turn 4.
Beaver Dragon will lose a lap to the field in this little altercation.
Cabana down the inside takes the front spot. Jean-Paul Cabana. Nose is in front of Bob Randall. Crouch looking on the low side. He's got second spot. Randall back to third.
It will prove to be a long afternoon for Beaver Dragon. Down 1 lap here in his heat race. He will have to join the field in the consolation race.
Robbie Crouch looking outside, looking inside on Jean-Paul Cabana. Randall hanging tough in third. Running fourth. Mike Lux trying to hold off Claude Leclerc side by side.
And as they come out of the 2 turn, Claude Leclerc has overtaken Mike Lux, and he's on his way.
2 laps to go. Crouch on the outside. Jean-Paul Cabana holding down the...
Crouch is high and wide in the 2 turn. Underneath goes Randall. Crouch has dropped back to third.
Oh, and Robbie Crouch gave it all he had to go into the lead on that. White flag is out. Jean-Paul Cabana, Bob Randall, Robbie Crouch, Claude Leclerc, Mike Lux. Cabana flying. It's the best we've seen Jean-Paul Cabana look in some years here on the Coors Tour. Checkered flag. Jean-Paul Cabana wins heat number 2.
Okay, we're going to have more of the Pine Tree 100 on Trackside, so stay with us. Welcome back. Well, let's join Mark and Dan for more Pine Tree action.
The 01, Jeff Davis. The 25, we believe, is Bob Ailes. And I think we overlooked Zig Gino out there in the 57. They're under green.
Bilodeau pulls the field as he comes down, but he is wild out of the 3 turn.
And Dion sneaks back on the inside and takes the advantage. Dynamite, Dave Dion. Bilodeau on the outside, Jamie Obie making it a 3-car battle as they go into turn 1.
It is close competition. Bilodeau is not afraid to mix it up on the outside. He stays right out there and pulls back door to door with Jamie Obie. Off of the turn, Bilodeau gets a 2-foot advantage.
Dion.
And as they come out of the 2 turn, Bilodeau jumps ahead again. Dave Dion builds a comfortable 6-car length lead. Bilodeau has shot out past Jamie Obie on the outside, and there's a car in the one turn.
Zig Gino. Yellow on the Speedway. Yellow immediately.
Will be green this time around.
I don't know about if you were watching it, Lee, but for my 50 cents worth there, Dave Dion was absolutely the fastest thing on the Speedway down there, I thought, opening day, and they're under green again.
Dion has pulled 3 feet ahead of Obie. Bilodeau is under Obie. And as they go into the 3-turn, it is nip and tuck.
Carlton Roby off the pace. He was up front early in this heat. Riding around at the top of the track now. Bilodeau on the inside.
And Obie goes high and wide in the 2-turn. He's got it back under control. There just doesn't seem to be an outside groove today at Beech Ridge Speedway. As they go by the starter's stand, Dion stumbles in the 2-turn.
Dion goes into 4 with a slight advantage over Bob Bilodeau, and they got half a straightaway lead over third place Jamie Obie, followed closely by Jack Bateman, Gardner Levitt, George Libby.
And now Zig Gino is smoking as he comes around. He may be rubbing a tire on the damaged bodywork from his earlier incident. Dion and Bob Bilodeau have taken control of this, the 3rd heat, in the Norseman Pine Tree 100.
Oh, Bilodeau looks for room on the inside, finds none, gives David a little nudge, lets him know he's there.
And the black flag is out for Zig Gino.
Look at Bob in turn 4. He closes the gap. Dion will have no part of it.
It is a pleasure to watch 2 wily veterans.
2 laps to go.
Play cat and mouse as the race nears its conclusion.
This time down in front of starter John Hubbard. They'll take the white flag. Dave Dion.
Dion has a slight push as he pulls into the turns. Bilodeau has not been able to capitalize. Bilodeau lays a little plastic on Dion on the backstretch and tries for a pass. He goes alongside of him in the 4-turn and squirts out.
Too close to call.
Too close to call.
Yellow and checkers. Zig Gino spins near the main.
And Bilodeau is off of the track area in the 1 and 2 turn.
Looks like Bilodeau's conceding what we thought was too close to call to Dion as a heat win.
Scott Mulkern. Too slow. And the 19 car of Jay Johnson, the 33 of Mike Johnson, and the 2 of Danny Perez. And it is a real wiggle and snake. They've doubled up, and there is trouble.
Simpson hits Ricky Craven up on the outside of turn number 4.
And Simpson has come around, a little too much gas pedal. Let's see if they bring out a yellow. Glenn Cusack
Yellow is out.
has a commanding lead. There is a yellow flag on the track, and
the heat is back under green. Into turn number 1, Glenn Cusack. His father owns the Speedway. He holds the advantage.
Jay Johnson. He has pulled about a half a length ahead of Cusack. Cusack pulls back alongside of him. Mulkern is tight on the tail. As they come out, Mike Johnson seems to have the combination. Cusack, now it's turned into a single file race with only Johnson on the outside. Cusack, Jay Johnson, Scott Mulkern.
4th place car, Dan Perez right now, the first course to a car on the field. He's in the mix. There's 5 out of the first 6 cars are Beech Ridge cars in the battle right now.
High in the turn, the 22 car of Gary Johnson.
Fiberglass flying off of some of the cars at the back of the pack.
Kevin LePage does not seem to have what it takes, and they crash. Mike Johnson loses his nose piece in the 1 turn. There is a considerable amount of debris. Perhaps we'll have a yellow flag. There is debris in the 2 turn.
The flagman's given a halfway signal to Glenn Cusack. Scott Mulkern runs in 2nd. Dan Perez 3rd. 4th is Bobby Gahan, car number 50. And running 5th is Ricky Craven in the 12. Yellow on the Speedway.
There is debris right near the truck in the 2 turn. From
outside of the 2nd row, and green is out. Cusack Holds the advantage over Malkin as they go into turn one. Perez gives him a little tap to let him know he's there. Action.
There is no place to go on the outside. In a daring move, Bob Gahan pulls to the inside, nearly chops off the front of Rick Craven's car, and they have now pretty much turned to a column of one.
Cusack, the Cherry Coke, the red and white car number 2, renumbered 32. Dan Perez, the black number 2, the Coors Tour car. Running third, Bob Gahan down the inside of Mulkern. Tight running.
And Craven has pulled up beside Scott Mulkern. Mulkern hangs tough in the turn. I believe Craven may be able to stay with him. The 19 car has a flat left rear tire. He will pull off to the pit area. Cusack has now taken a 6-car length advantage over second place Dan Perez and third place Bob Gahan.
White flag. Cusack takes the white. Perez in second. Gahan third. He's closing in. Final time down the backstretch.
And Rick Craven has pulled to the outside to attempt to take the 4th position. He is tough. He is on the outside. He may just get it.
Cusack wins it. Perez is second.
And Craven.
Well, that was footage from the preliminary heat action, and Dan, you were there. How would you sum it up?
Well, it was kind of a surprise at Beech Ridge on that first Coors Tour race of the year at the Speedway. 2 local drivers, Bob Harrison and track owner's son Glenn Cusack, were heat winners. Jean-Paul Cabana, of course, was very strong in his heat, and a man who at that point who had never done anything really well at Beech Ridge, Dave Dion, won his heat race. So the heat races were exciting, but they did show that there would be a great deal of single file racing over the afternoon.
Okay, following the heat race, well, we're going to take a break right now, and we're going to go to that feature race at the Pine Tree 100. So stay with us. Welcome back. Well, heading into the feature, we had some problems with track conditions in the preliminary races. How about the feature?
Well, whenever the field was doubled over, with 36 cars on a small track, every time they doubled over, there was potential for a major incident, and it started right out with a first lap pileup.
Let's go to Dana Mark for that action.
To a pace car, Ron Barkham pulls in, green is out, we are underway, and Carlton Roby leads the field to the first turn in the Norseman, Pine Tree 100 at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. Roby down the back chute, holds a slight edge over Jean-Paul Cabana. Fred Wiles, Milo Main runs third. Roby pushes Cabana up high on the track. Wiles looks for him to get through, can't do it, and there's a spin.
Spins.
Oh, Harrison up and over.
Snagged in it. Snagged in
Yellow on the field. Roby and Kevin LePage sitting.
Damage to Claude Leclerc's car. He is in the infield.
Mike Mayetta's car into the pits. Fiberglass flying off of that machine. Bob Bilodeau resting in the posted. Green is out. Cabana shoots off into the lead. Hudson, Herb Simpson in the low groove looking for second place. Going down the backstretch, he has the spot. Ricky Craven moving into third.
Still a difficult time for anyone stuck on the outside groove. Fred Wiles slowly moves his way back. He had been as high as second. However, he is not able to handle the outside groove. And now we see John Paul Cabana, followed by Hudson Herbie Simpson, Ricky Craven, the young driver from Newburgh, Maine, make that Hamden, Maine, followed by Mike Barry in the John LeBurge, Steve Levitt car.
Robbie Crouch just spent several laps sliding back in the outside groove. Has just found the rail and is getting back by Barney McRae, the last car that went by him on the inside. Tough going on the outside here today.
For those fortunate enough to be able to run on the outside, it is difficult because there are several cars stranded on the outside groove and they hold you back if you are brave enough to get out there.
Cabana way out in front. Herbie Simpson of Hudson, New Hampshire runs in second. Running third is Rick Craven. 2 black Buicks. Mike Berry runs fourth. Dale Shaw in the fourth. Thunderbird is fifth.
Now showing strength on the outside, Canadian STP Challenge champion Claude Leclerc. He has
Cabana stretching out that lead again. Mike Berry running in second. Randall's got his hands full trying to hold Obi off for third.
And young Rick Craven, it's a measure of the man. He wants his lap back. He's hanging tough on the outside. He tries to see if he can go up through. Give him an A for courage.
There goes Obi. Obi on the outside. He's looking for third. He's side by side with Bob Randall. Obi up near the wall. Coming down out of 4. That's the battle on the Speedway. The battle for third. Bob Randall, Sanford, Maine. Jamie Obi, North Ferrisburg, Vermont. In the mountain racing Oldsmobile. On the outside, can he do it? He's been the only guy that's been able to go by fast cars on the outside. Jeff Stevens closing in fifth in the Howie Lane car.
And it is a dogfight from 41 Obi and 91 Bob Randall. They are locked in battle. This makes the third straight lap that they are side by side. Obi takes a slight advantage into the 4-turn and pulls ahead on the front straightaway. Looks like he may have Randall this time. Randall says, we're going to try some more. Tries to stay under Barry, and he comes out of the 2-turn under Barry. Unfortunately, Randall has to back off for young Jeff Hansen as they overlap that youngster for the second time this afternoon.
Meanwhile, Paul Richardson and Glenn Cusack are working their way up from further back in the back. Cusack, the Cherry Coke Mountain View Racing number 2, number 23 for today. Looking pretty good at this point, but Richardson flies by him on the outside.
I think that we can look for Richardson now to make his charge toward the front. Richardson was the winner last Sunday.
Obi up the outside. Obi's looking for second place. Mike Berry. Jamie Obi, he's flying up the outside.
Well, Dan, 3/4 into the race, it looks like the Frenchman has it.
Well, Jean-Paul was incredibly strong at the Pine Tree 100. He won his heat, the semi-feature, and led nearly every lap of the feature. Jean-Paul's only serious challenge in the race was when Jamie Obi tried to pass him late in that event.
Let's go to that footage right now.
Green flag is out. We are under green, and John Paul Cabana pulls outside of Jeff Stevens. Jeff Stevens down a lap. He is the leader of the lap cars in this event, and Stevens wants to race with Cabana. By gosh, Jeffrey has his lap back, and he intends to race Cabana hard for it. Cabana will have to take Stevens on the outside. Cabana pulls in behind Stevens.
Glenn Cusack tapping Jean Paul in the back. These guys aren't going to give any quarter here. Says if you're going to keep the lead, Jean Paul, you're going to have to earn it. Jamie Obi might be looking for a break like this. Obi on the outside, looks on the high side of Glenn Cusack as the lap car of Kevin LePage, one of the fastest cars on the Speedway at this point in time, follows through.
Cabana's had his own way this afternoon, and Jeff Stevens will not let him by. He says, pass me on the outside. Stevens is making it difficult for Cabana. Cabana is not stretching out his lead.
And Obi is making things interesting. Jamie Obi. Oh, Cabana into his door. A little bit there. He moves on the high groove and blocks Obi's pursuit path.
Cabana nearly waited a little bit too long to make his move as Obie tried to double him up. And Cabana saw him coming, pulled out, took the lead away from Jeff Stevens. They are back to speed now. Let's see what Obie can do with Cabana in the closing laps of the Norseman Pine Tree 100.
They've definitely put Jeff Stevens to rest right now for the time being until the next restart. We'll see if Obie has anything left, if he can mount that charge to Cabana. Meanwhile, the battle goes on for third. Dale Shaw has taken over third. Randall and Danny Perez side by side for fourth. This one could develop into a barn burner back here. Perez, Randall, door to door.
Both of these drivers are pushing their cars to the very limit. They wiggle and wobble.
Obie mounting a challenge on the outside for the lead. Cabana moves him to the high groove, but Obie just can't do it this time. Coming out of two, down the back straightaway, Obie taps Cabana, says, I'm here, Jean-Paul. They go into number 3, nose to tail.
Cabana looking worried. His car a little sideways out of each turn. He will burn the car up, and now he's developed a little bit of a push. Cabana uses a great deal of the track. Obie pulls alongside. Cabana.
They're side by side as they go under the flag stand. Jamie Obie looking for that lead. Jean-Paul Cabana holds him off again. Action up front after Cabana had things pretty much all his way. Now Jamie Obie is letting him know he's there. Cabana, Sherrington, Quebec, many-time Canadian champion, many-time Catamount Stadium champion. Probably one of the people that Obie looked up to when he started his driving career.
Jamie Obie, a dogged chase. He is on the back bumper of Cabana. He tries him high, he tries him low. Cabana works hard to cover as much racetrack as he possibly can. Obie, once again, in the 3 and 4 turn, pulls alongside.
2 laps to go in the main event. 2 laps to go. Cabana trying to hold off Jamie Obie. Kevin LePage, a lap car, the Norseman car.
And surprise runner Bob Randall of Sanford, Maine. He holds down the 3rd place position right in front of Dale Shaw and young... Who is that car? Jeff Hansen, and a terrible hit. The 41 car of Obie.
The snout has come right off the Obie machine.
Oh, and another car.
Oh, sensational impact.
One of the most disheartening accidents I have ever seen at Beech Ridge Speedway. And Obie's car hit front and back. Let's hope that he's not injured.
Obie's car literally destroyed here. Robbie Crouch also involved.
The track is covered with plastic explosives. The debris from the...
Well, Dan, John Paul won the race, but what a way to end the race.
Well, for Jamie Obie, it was certainly a tremendous crash and probably the most dramatic footage that we captured here on Trackside for the entire season. Obie, by the way, was not injured seriously in that. Originally, it was assumed that he was completely uninjured. Later, it was determined that he had broken his coccyx. He missed only 1 Course Tour race on account of that accident.
Well, that's all we have for that race. Next week, we're going to also go to another Coors Tour race, the Coastal 100 from Wiscasset, Maine. In the coming weeks, we'll have the Thibodeau brothers on, Pete Fiandaca, Star Supers, Neiman Midgets, and much, much more. So stay with us in our winter program here. It's going to be a great one. Well, I'm Bill Burt, and for Dan, everyone else here at Trackside, thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the races. Take care.